He's bold, he's brilliant, and he's been breaking boundaries in Iceland since the 90s, so over 3 decades. I'm talking about the iconic Páll Óskar, who is not only a music icon, but an activist, and I am so honored to have him on the All Things Iceland podcast, which we are doing in partnership with Center Hotels. In fact, this lovely place I'm sitting in right now is one of the rooms. I'm in bed with an icon, if you will. And it's not just that Páll Óskar, or Palle, is entertaining, he's empowering. And you will definitely see that throughout our conversation, in which we go over many different topics, many different aspects, and the evolution of his life, his music, his love, and how he stays fresh and able to continuously give us art and speak for those who are marginalized. So without further ado, let's get into bed with this musical icon. All right, everybody, I am in bed with an Icelandic music pop icon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, loving it. Thank you so much, Páll Óskar, for being here.
Thank you, likewise. I've been following you for quite a few years now.
Likewise. Before I even moved to Iceland, I mean, we're going to have a little contest. Like, who's been following each other longer? No.
No, I've always loved your energy.
Oh, thank you.
And the way you present Iceland.
Oh.
And in particular, I loved the segment you did when you actually said you can enjoy and experience Iceland all year round.
Yes.
The question is, what kind of experience do you want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We do have 4 seasons.
Technically.
Technically.
Feels more like 2. Some people think it's 1, but whatever, it's fine. So
but we do, yeah. And I totally agree with you. I find magic in white nights.
Yeah.
I find magic in that we have almost no sunset on the 21st of June.
Mm-hmm.
But then, on the 21st of December, we only have like 2 hours of daylight. Yeah. And that's where human beings have to come in. And we create the light by going Christmas crazy. Mm-hmm. We decorate everything.
Eat a lot of sugar.
Including our grandmothers.
Decorate our grandmothers.
We decorate everything with Christmas lights. And it's just as magical.
Yeah, I think so. There's beauty in every situation if you're willing to look for it.
No.
And Iceland is no different. And obviously, people can be affected differently by it. Mm. But I'm glad that you said that, because as someone who is born and raised here, I think that you are giving a great representation to people that just allow yourself to feel the joy. Yeah. Be in the moment.
Yeah.
So.
And I also, like most Icelanders, I'm born and raised here in the west end of Reykjavik. Mm-hmm. It's just a few blocks away from here. And of course, I started off taking this for granted until I started traveling.
Yes. Broadening your horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And realizing that there are places where people have to buy water in bottles,
In places that are very developed countries, actually.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like we're going to places where they don't have running water. It's like, no, there's chemicals in water in a lot of places where drinking it is horrific.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And every time I come home and enter Keflavik Airport, the moment that sliding door opens and I can take my first breath of fresh ice.
Hasn't knocked you over yet.
Yeah. Then I really do feel like home, and I always appreciate it more and more.
That's beautiful. And I think I'm glad we started out this way, because it's so interesting to hear, because you're so embedded in the society and community here that your appreciation for it has changed over time. So since you are locally an icon and internationally well known, for the ones that don't know, you are. We're going to talk about Eurovision, okay?
Okay.
You're making an impression, and there are people internationally who are definitely like cult Páll Óskar fans.
No.
But for those who are not aware of you, you talked a little bit about you grew up over here in the Vestavide area. Can you take a little bit through your childhood and how you knew you wanted to be a singer?
Well, I'm born into a musical family. Mm-hmm. I'm the youngest of 7 children. And my parents, Hjálmtýr Hjálmtýrsson and Margrét Matthíasdóttir, they were both classically trained singers. My father was a il grande tenore, He really wanted to be like a Luciano Pavarotti.
Wow.
And
that's some big dreams there.
Yeah. And he really had the talent and the ability to be one. But this was the 50s. And the attitude towards artists in Iceland has always been, I'm not gonna use the term love-hate relationship, but I can imagine that when we were a bunch of farmers and fishermen, in that kind of a community, you really had to focus on just catching that fish and getting those lambs, back into the houses, get them from the mountains and into the houses, and focus on that. And then we threw a big party, and there was probably someone with an accordion in the corner playing.
Yeah.
And it's like the attitude towards artists was like that. Like creating art was not a real job.
Yeah.
And even today, I've
even though you've made a full-blown career out of it.
People still like, and so what do you do? So what is your work?
It's like, what more do I have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, thinking like too about if you're talking about like the 50s with your dad, it's also an interesting time because Iceland got independence in 1944, right? Like, and then there's this modernity type of racing after trying to catch up with other like modern societies. So fishing and all that stuff. I'm not saying I get why art was sort of pushed to the side, but it was just like, we need to thrive. Get this in. We have this opportunity. That's what my brain goes to. But still, you have these parties, right? Like everybody wants to sing and do whatever, and it's like people see it as entertainment, not as this valuable part of what helps us to all feel really good, right? Like when I listen to your music, I'm dancing around and I stop for a second. I go like, oh yeah, right. Like this changed something in me just now, right? Like your dad, his talent was going to help change something in people, but they couldn't see it then because they were so focused on like, we got to make this work. We got to use this opportunity to like bring ourselves up.
And, in such a micro, society.
So much smaller than it is now. I mean, granted, we're what, 400,000? So that's like, if you think of the 50s, it's like, oh my gosh, there's like hardly anybody here.
But, first and foremost, we were like striving to live. And so sadly, most artists that I do know, even to this day, most of my fellow artists are they keep their day job. They work as teachers, maybe from 9 to 5, and then they have to work on their art or focus on their art after work. And you can imagine how
it's exhausting.
Exhausting it can be. But there are a few of us who can actually live off our art. And now I've been living off my art for more than 30 years.
Yeah, congratulations. That is amazing. That is incredible.
And if anything, I feel like I'm waking up again. My life is pretty hectic right now.
Okay.
I am recording a new album with a friend of mine, Ben Hemhem. That album is turning out to be a wonderful trip. And I haven't released an album since 2017.
Yeah.
And it's 2025 now. And in 2017, it was a very fine album. It was a nice, dancey pop album, but I felt like I was repeating myself.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had explored everything in me, and I felt like, I had said everything I need to say. Guess what happens? I fell in love.
Yeah, love is beautiful.
And it was like waking up again, waking up to life again.
And a different appreciation for life.
Yeah. And and suddenly I did have something to say, and suddenly everything woke up again in me.
Yeah.
The music, the musical part of me woke up again, and not only that, it's not only that album. I'm also doing collaborations with artists who are much younger than me.
Yeah.
I actually just came out of the studio with a very young artist named Daniel, and we did this dance track, which is on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, he sent me a sample of it. It was so good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I was actually with I was with him in the studio just the day before yesterday, and we were finishing this track. And I love that I'm getting all this love from younger artists, you know, of totally different generations than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually told Daniel, do you realize in 5 years I'm going to be 60 years old? And his face turned white. And I asked him, how old are you? 20. And I started laughing immediately. He couldn't even finish. But this is a wonderful place to be in. It's a wonderful experience.
Yeah. And I love that. Well, first of all, you've hit on different genres of music, right? So even though you're a pop icon in terms of like you solidified yourself there, you've done things with the symphony orchestra, you like DJ, doing house music, dance, all this stuff. How do you pick which genre you're going to like step into? Is it just like in the moment you're feeling it, or something comes to you?
Well, I'll tell you what. Like I said, I'm born and raised in a musical family, and I'm the youngest of 7 children.
Oh, okay. So you've got to experience a lot.
That was probably my most valuable gift, and my biggest blessing was to, you know, make an entrance into this family, having 6 other siblings. We're 3 brothers and 4 sisters, living 9 people, a family of 9 living in 110 square meters.
Wow.
Which is kind of unthinkable today.
Yeah.
And you can imagine when you're living in a household like that, each and every of us kids were striving to find our own identity.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? Of course, you find your own identity through music.
Right.
So none of my siblings or family members was listening to the same kind of music.
You're like, this is mine.
I got introduced to literally everything.
Yeah.
My parents, being classically trained singers, they were playing opera at all times. Yeah. So I learned to appreciate classical music. Yeah. But my oldest sister, Ásdís, she was working in this club in the 70s. Yes, we had clubs in the 70s. And those were hot discotheques. We only had one TV station, and which was turned off on Thursdays. There was no TV on Thursdays. Yes. So you had to do something. And so people went out and they met each other in the real world.
Yes.
And
actually social.
Yes,
with each other.
Yes. And she was working at one of those clubs. And she brought to our house disco music, 7-inch singles.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Dittu, my sister, she was a big pop star in the 70s herself. Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Dittu is a very, very gifted singer. And even though she is my sister, I think this is probably one of the most beautiful voices Iceland has ever heard. Mm-hmm. And she made a jump, going from folky kind of folky kind of Joan Baez music. She was surrounded with great songwriters and lyricists, and oh my God, her catalog from the 70s is amazing.
Wow. Okay.
But then she made the jump, and she went to London to study classical music. She took her soprano. She chose to not to say goodbye to that pop star forever, but she chose to work on her soprano, and she evolved into the most beautiful ones that we've ever heard.
That's amazing.
At the same time, Matti, my brother, was learning trumpet, and that's where I got introduced to Herb Alpert and easy listening music.
Yeah.
Attiguri, my brother, he was listening to rock and roll. Rock and roll like Motorhead, Kiss, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, and Hanna Stina, my sister, she was the indie artist. She was listening to punk. Nina Hagen, and all the avant-garde. The avant-garde spectrum of music. Now, Linda, my sister, was on the other. She was listening to some tough women like Kate Bush.
Oh yeah, okay.
And Pat Benatar.
I mean, I can see the memories coming back for you of talking about these.
So you see, I'm getting.
Yeah. You literally from all.
It was like a buffet. A buffet of music from all over, and at the same time, I'm listening to Icelandic pop music. This era of the 70s and 80s in Icelandic pop music is filled with gold. Music that is so well written and so well produced that it's amazing. And we have, in particular, one composer named Gunnar Þórðarson, and in my opinion, he is the greatest. And oh my God, him and Jóhann Helgason, I think the two of them have written songs that could have been big singles for artists like Celine Dion.
Oh wow!
Or Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
In particular, there's one song by Gunnar Þórðarson titled "Þitt fyrsta bros," your first smile. It's a song about the experience of having a child.
Aww.
And going through the miracle.
Yeah, I'm in that process right now.
Yeah. And I think, Þitt fyrsta bros is the perfect Celine Dion song. We have gold in our Icelandic catalog of pop music. Yeah. So I'm well raised.
Yeah, okay.
And
coming up in a time period where you were saying like even the production of the music and everything was like very top notch.
Yeah.
So you're getting,
yeah. And it's amazing. And kudos to Icelanders that we are quick in when it comes to getting into technology, getting used to it, using it to our advantage.
Yes. Modernization here has happened very quickly.
We're quick.
Yes.
When the internet came, in 1995, no one had it. In 1997, 98% of people had the internet. And then cell phones.
But being on an island where like you don't have a lot of access, and then you have the whole seemingly at the time the whole world open to you. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
This is what we do. When TV came along, it took the whole nation 2 years to get a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Trends go so they spread so fast here. It could be something as monumental like the internet or personal computers to even like people just cycling, buying all the gear, and then all of a sudden everyone's cycling for like 2 years and it fades off. It's like some stuff fades away, but it is true. Like it spreads like wildfire if something becomes popular here.
Oh, yeah, and it does.
But like pivoting a little bit, because we talked a bit about, you know, your childhood and the fact that you came up in this musical family. You also came out as gay quite early in terms of in the time period.
Yeah.
And in a time period where there's maybe not that many examples of people around. So
well, I come out in 1987 when I'm 17.
Yeah.
I come out to my parents and to the kids at school. Because I had to. I was in love.
Okay, so love sounds like already, because it's a trend in your life.
Yeah, finally everything made sense, and falling in love. You know, this raw emotion of love, of falling in love. It was so brutal, and it didn't let go, and I knew I can't waste valuable energy in hiding this.
And trying to be like, it's like, no, I want it all out there.
I've got stuff to do. So,
how were you received when you came out?
Cool. All of my brothers and sisters said, yeah.
They're like, okay, finally you said it.
While my parents, you know, they were really taken aback. And it took me a long time to forgive them. They showed all the wrong response.
Okay.
All the wrong responses. Yeah. But when I got older, I had to realize, and the best moment for me was to ask myself the question, Pálli, do you realize where your parents come from? Do you realize what sort of information they had about homosexuality in the first place? And it took us a long time to recover, but we eventually did. Sadly, my mother died when I was 25.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And my father died when he was 69 and I was 32. But by that time, me and my father had come to terms.
That's good.
With each other, and instead of being in this tug of war kind of relationship, it was a very it was like two prima donnas in the same room at all times. But I also had to start focusing on, you know, what do I have in common with this man, and what does he have in common with me? And we found out that we have more in common
than they're different.
Yeah.
And I think that's it shows growth, first of all, on your part and your dad's, that you were able to take a step back and be like, wait a minute, this is a different generation. This is, you know, from where they're coming from, and try to meet him where he is. And then also that he opened himself up to doing the same, because some people can stay stubborn until their last breath. So I'm glad that there was a transformation there.
Yeah, there was. Thank God.
Yeah, right? And so as an openly gay icon and coming up, and I mean, your first album, Stuth, in 1993, or Groove, right? This allowed for you to really kind of like have fun and put yourself out there. And through the years, you've not only been doing your music, having a great time, you also have been an active voice, right? For people who are not able to maybe voice for themselves, or even within this community. And so I'm wondering, as you've been so like from the very beginning, right? Because it's not just for you, you've seen how the community needs to be more integrated. How have you seen Iceland change in terms of the feelings towards LGBTQ plus community?
Oh, drastically. And well, you probably know that this community of LGBT people in Iceland did show a lot of progress in a miraculously short time span. Again,
Iceland moving quickly.
We went from literally being unseen, with no rights. We were invisible to society. We were simply not there. We go from being not there to literally full equal rights within a time span of 10 years.
It's incredible.
And I, not only did we have some really amazing individuals who paved the way, who gave their faces and their names. They came out, gave their faces, gave their names. And when you live in such a small society like Iceland, one face, one name means a lot. We have cousins and nieces, and we have grandmothers and families who know everybody. So it spirals super quickly. And it was like suddenly everybody in Iceland woke up to the fact that all of us know someone. All of us know someone who's gay. We all know someone. It touches all of us in some way. So it was not my agenda to become an activist. I just want to first and foremost be an artist.
Yeah.
The activism part didn't come until later. I've never been a member of any political party anywhere. I haven't even been a member of the queer organization, really. I was at this committee when we were creating the parade, the Reykjavik Pride parade. Yes.
Which is coming up soon.
Yeah, I was a member of that committee from 1999 till 2006.
Okay.
So I witnessed that parade grow. We planted those seeds, very punk, very not knowing what we were doing, very, we had to learn from all of our mistakes.
It got to start from somewhere.
Yeah. You have to start from somewhere. And so, I was there, but otherwise, no. The activism part sort of came to me because if you're an artist in the first place, and if you have this ability to write a song and actually perform it and sing it and make a very direct connection with people, then comes the day when someone hands you a microphone and starts asking questions. You get this window, and in my opinion, artists should use that window, and that's what happened to me. And I was asked, almost all the interviews I went through from 1989 to present day. In almost all the interviews were gay questions.
Okay.
Or queer themed questions, which I tried to answer as best as I could, but it wasn't like I wasn't a registered dictionary.
You're like, I'm just a person. But as you mentioned, though, when an individual becomes really well known or seen, and has something that is different than maybe the majority of people in the community, there is sort of a responsibility that's put on that person unknowingly, right? So you start to become this figurehead for it, or a trailblazer for individuals, even if that wasn't your intention, was to set out to be like, oh, I'm going to be an openly gay pop star, right? It was like, well, I'm just making music, I'm an artist, and I'm also openly gay, but it's like your existence is a part of your activism because you've lived it boldly and out loud and unapologetically. And I think that in itself empowered a lot of other people.
It did. And I always consider that a bonus because I can promise you, in my case, it was music first.
Yeah. Your passion.
Music first. It has to come first.
Right.
your art has to come first. You have to take it into the picture that I am the little brother of Dittu, who was a big pop star in the 70s and then a famous soprano. So naturally, everybody was super curious to hear the little brother of Dittu sing.
Did you feel pressured?
A little by that. But it opened up, not a door, but it opened up a window of curiosity. And then I pulled the gig. And I felt it pretty strongly inside of me that no, classical music was not me. Even though I'm born and raised in a household playing all these operas, I personally did not make that strong of a connection with it. But then I saw ABBA win Eurovision in 1974, and I made an immediate connection. Yes, this is what I want to do. This pop music. This is me. And also, do not forget, I have the energy to do this. You know, the core inside of me is a happy kid, you know, and he's still here and alive and kicking. And this is the happy kid that you see on stage. Well, the moment I entered
and in just normal life. When I saw you downstairs, it was such a beautiful moment when you were just like, hey, and we embraced, you know, and even now it's like you can feel that you have this beautiful aura and energy that just emanates from you, you know, because you could just be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you could be a totally different, subdued person because of all the visibility and attention, but you have this like curiosity and really fun aspects of you.
Thank God I'm curious. I still am. And each and every gig is a new gig. It is a new experience. It is a I don't know if you do I don't know if you practice meditation.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Meditation, tapping. I do like different things that help me to kind of keep very present.
Okay. For those who don't do meditation, I've got a very great, if you know who Laurie Anderson is.
No.
Okay, an artist, New York-based artist, very avant-garde. I heard her on Instagram the other day saying, okay, when you meditate, yes, you probably live the same life every single day. You do the same. You do the same routine. You drive this road, you know, to work, or you have to walk this road. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and then the day is done. What happens if you picture yourself not walking that road? What happens if you're walking a road?
Interesting.
And now you're meditating.
Yeah.
You feel what happens. And this is what happens to me every time I'm on stage. The moment is always new.
Nice.
There are songs on my repertoire that I've been singing for 30 years. But I'm not tired of them. They still come to me just as fresh as they were.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because the energy that we manage to capture within the songs, the core of the song itself, is still there.
Yeah.
And it's still serving.
That's awesome.
And
I'll have a link to your Spotify, like your albums and stuff, for people who want to listen and they can get the vibe of the different songs and even as you evolved over the years.
Yeah. And guess what? Yes, I woke up to ABBA in my childhood, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do, but I didn't know. I had not quite found my niche or my sound, or you know, what is it that I want to do? And no one around me knew who do you want to be? A Johnny Mathis kind of housewife singer, or you want to do musicals, or you want to do bubblegum pop music? What is this? What do you want to do? And I didn't quite know myself until I went to New York City in 1993.
Okay.
The summer of 1993. I had actually been doing this radio show here in Iceland from 1991 till 93.
It's Dr. Love?
No,
No,
it's something later.
Okay.
I was DJing.
Oh, cool.
And I was just playing my favorite music from vinyl on the
Which
air.
vinyl is back in style. So, yeah.
And a lot of those tunes I spinned was 70s disco. And you know, all of us know now that disco is, I actually owe Donna Summer personally my whole life.
That's a great person to owe your whole life to. She's amazing. Or was amazing.
No, African American. I owe African Americans everything I do now. Literally. I enter New York City in 93, summer of 93, and I'm there for 3 months. Each and every night, I went to some club. There was Chicago house music. It was all the rage. Robin S. with Show Me Love was the song.
I love that song. Oh my gosh.
And I walk into this energy, which was me. With the rest of the homosexuals, with the rest of the people of all genders, all colors. I felt like home. I felt like I was just one of the colors. I felt like I was one of the flowers. Made this very distinctive connection. And I thought to myself, yes, this is the energy. This is the excitement that I want to capture in my music and pay it forward and try to find and try to do my own spin on it.
This episode is sponsored by the lovely Center Hotels, and we are in one of their rooms at the Grindr, which is in a great location. And this is also a special time in Iceland because it is Pride. And so having this openly gay music icon and also partnering with a hotel that is a proud sponsor of Pride is something that is amazing, and the opportunity to bring voice and a platform to a community that sometimes doesn't always have the ability to say or, express all that is necessary for them to thrive. So thank you to Center Hotels for sponsoring, and as a little gift to our listeners and followers, you can use my code ATI25, which basically is a shortening for all things Iceland, 25, to save 25% on your stay with Center Hotels. They have 9 unique hotels in the center of Reykjavik. So you have lots of options, and they each have something a little different. Spas, great views, comfy beds, beautiful, amazing customer service. Like, everyone is so kind and so sweet. So definitely make sure if you're staying in Reykjavik, choose Center Hotels, whatever one is best for you, because you have a lot of options, and enjoy this episode. Along with your booking, though, know that this is crucial. Free breakfast. Believe me, Iceland's expensive. You'll need it. Also, you'll have the ability to have early check-in, potentially late checkout if it's available, a welcome drink, and of course, a warm smile. And whenever you stay in Reykjavik, you'll know that when you stay with Center Hotels, you'll get great service. I'm surprised, though, that you didn't want to stay in New York, right? Was there something you always wanted to come back to Iceland? Because there's some people, sometimes when you get that big of a revelation and it's already existing in a place, you might go like, oh, I need to be here. But you felt I'm guessing it sounded like you felt like still Iceland was the place you wanted to be, but just to bring it back there.
Over here in Iceland, it was much easier for me to develop a career.
To break out. Okay. Wow. Fair enough. Yeah.
And you must know, here in Iceland, it is pretty easy for artists to work, collaborate, meet up. The beauty of Reykjavik, for example, is that it is so small and the community is so tiny that you probably get an idea. In the morning, you make a phone call at noon, and at dinner time, you're in the studio actually working on that idea.
Yeah. You know? It's true. I mean, I sent you a message on Instagram. Yeah. Right? I mean, granted, we've been following each other, but it is that small. Sometimes it's just like a Facebook message or whatever. Like the accessibility to people is...
And it gets done.
Exactly. We talked late last week, right? And it was like, now we're here. So, yes.
I had no interest in being stuck in New York, just knocking on doors.
So you're very smart about it, because some people get disillusioned because they hear about, going to New York and people making it. And it's like you said, there are millions of people there all trying to do similar things, right? So you came back to your roots in a place where that's pretty cool that you were aware of that.
Well, what happened is that another blessing, count your blessings, in New York in 93, I did not know that they would be there at the same time that I was, but there was this heavy metal rock band called Ham. It's the best rock group Iceland has ever seen. Those guys were actually in New York on tour.
Oh, wow.
In the summer of 93. So I became a groupie. And I followed them to all those gigs, and I got to know them. And I got acquainted with Jóhann Jóhannsson, bless his heart, bless his memory, and Sigurjón Kjartansson. And also Óttar Proppe was there, and Björn Blöndal, Addi Rock, and a lot. And we became friends. And Jói and Sigurjón, they were also members of a side project called Funkstrasse, which was a joke funk band with tons of people on stage, and they could never meet up, they could never rehearse, they could never record, and they had some demos, some funky demos, just lying around and awaiting their death. And then they met me, and the two of them thought, we have a performer,
and a productive performer as well,
And we had this meeting, and we decided the moment we come home, back to the moment we return to Reykjavik, we'll start working on some of those demos.
Cool.
It's Jói and Sigurjón who simply told me to go home, write melodies and lyrics to songs that needed melodies and lyrics. And okay.
Especially since you were like so in awe that they were there and also like including you. That's cool.
Yeah. And so the day after, I show up in the studio with a melody and lyrics to a song that eventually became Stans to Stuð. Not many people know this, but this is my first attempt.
That's awesome.
Of writing a song, and I'm still singing the song to this day.
I love it.
and I got this enormous, wonderful, the energy and the artistic determination of Jói, in particular. We had a wonderful working relationship. We worked on 3 albums together.
Wow.
In the end. And we had this shared love and passion for African American disco music, house music, and then techno, we were just looking into what happened to this.
Yeah.
Why is everyone saying that disco is dead? Because disco was a taboo in 1983. No one played it really, and it was not fashionable at all, to listen to this in the first place. There's this ongoing debate if techno is actually from African Americans or coming from Europe, coming from Germany in particular. I think there is a
blend.
Yeah, there is a blend. Mind you, speaking of Donna Summer actually lived in Germany in the early 70s, where she meets up with Giorgio Moroder, an Italian who is living in Germany. And that's why I'm so, I'm an advocate for no borders.
Yeah.
Art knows no borders.
Yeah.
And watch the beauty that comes out of this when these two cultures, merge.
Yeah. And I think,
love to love you, baby.
Yes.
Came out of this.
Oh my gosh. And I love that you said that about this is why you're an advocate for things, because through art, you're getting to experience that you can't restrict people, right? Like it is literally sky is the limit.
Oh.
And I even had a question for you about that whole, like, where's the boundary between your art and activism? But you just sort of answered it. Like, it just blends together, right?
Yeah.
In many different ways, even if your focus has been the art, but the activism is just always continues to kind of grown out of it. And now you are more, outspoken and in terms of from your own and not just people asking you questions, because there's concerts that you're doing. And, even we're going to get in, of course, to you being in love with someone who's not from Iceland, and how that was a very pivotal moment for you to get insight about how things work behind the scenes when it comes to coming to Iceland from a place where that might politically be in strife and, just persecuted. But before I do that, I do want to say, because we've talked a bit about, your journey as being openly gay, that Pride is coming up at the Pride Parade. You are the finale, right?
Yeah. Oh.
And love every year. Ever since I've been coming, first visiting to Iceland and then living here and seeing your final float and the dancing and the bedazzled everything. And it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering, like, for your float, because you talked about at the beginning, you were just making it work, probably putting strings together or whatever else. How has that evolved to being this, like, incredible display of what it feels like your inner child, right? Like, just having a great time.
Yeah. So, I just like in my music, yes, I first and foremost, I want people to have fun, and I want you guys to be entertained, and I also want you to feel like someone told you the truth. like someone gave you something of value. And the float, like the music, I think the Pride Parade in particular, the perfect pride parade for me should be both a wonderful party plus politics. You can merge the two. I can create dance pop and disco music with lyrics who are poignant and who are strong, have a strong message, even a political message or spiritual message. Yes, it can be done, and that's what I've done.
Yeah.
When it comes to the float, it's not only colors and confetti. There's always some sort of concept behind the float. That is pretty serious. Like this year, we're creating the butterfly float. everybody who's going to be on the float is a butterfly. But the sculpture on the float is a gigantic chrysalis.
Oh, yeah.
And all the butterflies are constantly going into the chrysalis, unseen. There's going to be a staircase inside of the chrysalis. And so the spectators, the audience on the sidewalks are constantly seeing someone come out of the chrysalis.
Literally, yeah, I love that. I love that. It's literal and figurative, in terms of transformation.
And this is basically what we feel like when we actually do come out. We come out with flying colors.
It's beautiful.
After probably being repressed or repressing ourselves. And so you see, you can make a wonderful, beautiful statement, literally out of anything. You can disguise it as a party. You can, but it can also have a deeper meaning to it. Same with my dance pop. Yes, you can call it bubblegum dance pop, but for me, no. The lyrics are important. And when I was growing up, and actually when I came out, my parents thought that I could not fall in love with anyone.
Oh.
Yeah, they both said, you're going to be, you're going to be so lonely.
Oh, wow.
We feel sorry for you because you're going to be alone. Because you can't fall in love with any, gays can't fall in love with anyone.
Whoa.
You guys can only have sex.
Interesting. And hurtful to feel like that is.
So I've tried my best to write the most beautiful lyrics, love songs, if you please, that I possibly can. And I actually finished now recording a new album with a friend of mine, Benny Hemhem, also a wonderful musician. And this new album is just one long love letter to Antonio.
Oh, who's your husband?
It's the first time that I'm actually in love and I'm being answered back.
Yeah, reciprocated. Yeah. That's beautiful.
And now I feel like all of my albums so far are written by someone who is looking for something. The new album sounds like coming from someone who has found something.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can't help but hear it.
Yeah. I love it.
So you're in for a treat.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure other who are listening and watching would love to hear it. So I'll definitely, when it comes out, I'm going to have that link. And man, I love that. Just hearing, your story about that evolution, but it's a bit ironic to me that you coming out, you had to come out, you felt, because you were in love, but your parents were saying, you'll never love it. You love me. But it's like, well, that's the whole reason why I'm out here being so openly who I am, is because I'm in love. Even if that was your first love, your puppy love,
My parents were like, where are you going to find a job? You're going to be kicked out of all the jobs. You're going to be kicked out of apartments. Where are you going to live?
Yeah.
You're going to die. You're going to get AIDS. This was 1987.
Yeah.
You're going to get AIDS and die.
Jeez. Which there was a guy here who ended up getting HIV, and he turned that around for himself. I can't remember his name. My boyfriend was telling me about it. Who made like T-shirts about like, if you're gonna die, you might as well live, something like this. And now he's been living, with HIV for decades and no problem. You know what I mean? So like, it's a really scary time back then, though.
Well, literally all of my life, what happened after, my parents were like this jealous. What's her name? Who walks into the party of Sleeping Beauty while she's sleeping in the cradle?
Oh,
Maleficent.
Yes.
She walks in, putting a curse on her. my parents were like Maleficent. You will never.
They were speaking ill to you, toward you. Yeah.
And so all of my life, my reaction was that, okay, now I have to dismantle all of this. I have to prove that they are wrong, and I had to put a lot of energy into proving to them that none of this is going to come true.
Wow.
I did not get HIV. I did not die. I've never been fired from any kind of job. If anything, I'm a sought after entertainer. My phone is still ringing. I live in my dream house.
Yeah.
I make really good income. I've had a wonderful career. None of the bad things that my parents predicted, none of this came true.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to find love, yes, but I never stopped looking.
Which is great for all you people out there.
I never stopped
Never stop looking.
I
allow hope to keep alive, right?
I found Antonio on Grindr, which is a sex app. Yes, we homosexuals, we love to have sex with each other.
You're enjoying your life.
It's no problem for us. But when he entered, it was funny. It was like the moment we laid eyes on each other, it was like, oh, so you're here. Where have you been? Venezuela? What were you doing there?
Iceland? What are you doing there? Right? It's like,
or we obviously have a very strong spiritual connection and emotional connection.
Yeah.
And then the physical connection.
Yeah.
And then the best part was that I didn't know who he was and he didn't know who I was. We got to get to know each other like totally pure.
Organically, without pretense.
From point zero.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And that's so necessary, but especially with you having so much status. And actually, there was an incident. I mean, Grindr has its faults, of course, too, right? I think it's 2021 when I was looking at the time period where you were on Grindr, living your life, having fun, and you had shared some photos with somebody, and they decided to publicly share them. These are the private conversation, and they decided to publicly share them to try and shame you. But your reaction was not what they expected. So could you walk through a little bit of like, once you found out that they had publicly shared these photos, were you immediately like, I'm going to do something about this, or what happened?
Oh, I learned from other people that photos of me were circulating on the internet, in particular Facebook.
Yeah, wow.
And I decided to take things into my own hands.
So immediately you had this like, I'm going to do something about this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I simply published exactly the same photos on my Instagram and Facebook.
I remember seeing this post because I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stated, the asshole who is now distributing these photos on the internet has not my permission to do so. This was a private conversation. Okay, you guys are welcome to enjoy these photos. Because I cannot possibly feel no shame for my body or the way I look. Have a ball. To the guy who actually did this, he is the one who should feel ashamed. Because I cannot find shame within me for this. I cannot find shame for being a sexual being in the first place, or wanting to have sex, or being ashamed for sex. No. I cannot feel ashamed for this. No, not for this.
No.
Shame is never the shame is never on the shoulders of the one who trusts.
Mm-hmm.
The one who should be ashamed is the one who breaks that trust.
Right.
When you break this level of trust, then shame on you. And you know what? This, looking back, this is basically what my whole life and career has all been about. It's all out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing to fear. And I'm constantly dismantling and proving, for example, proving that my parents were wrong. I feel like trans people are now going through the same. For the next few years, I think trans people need to dismantle and you know, shoot all these stories, you know, because we've heard all of this before. What about the children? You guys are I'm lost for words. You guys are a threat to children. You're a threat to our private spaces. You're a threat to yada yada yada. When literally none of this is true.
Nope. Yep.
And I feel for trans people going through this, and that's why us, you know, homosexuals who've been through this, we should be allies with our sisters
and brothers.
It
is so true, and I think this is a big part again of, you know, the whole, you're not just here selfishly for your own, because you could be a gay man that goes like, I just care about my own benefit and everyone else, good luck, right? There are people who like that in the world. And as a person who also has so much status and influence, because you are speaking out, you're helping to empower these people to remember this is not a struggle that came from just me existing and all of a sudden, you know, it's fine. It's like, no, there's been a road to get here to acceptance. There's been fighting, there's been protesting, there's been, you know, just being visible, being seen, representation, right? Like, I was very lucky as a child that my parents were around people of many different lifestyles, including one of my dad's best friends was a gay man, which you would think would be, my dad was a huge dude, like almost 2 meters, you know, really big. You just don't expect him to have this like very flamboyantly gay friend, right? Uncle Kenny, who would come over to visit. And that helped shape us as kids as being so understanding and like, this is just normal, right? This is just a person that we love. Uncle Kenny is great, right? And there was nothing to demonize about it. And I think that's, again, it's like people have their own activism within their lives, which is just having different types of people around who represent lifestyles so that children could be exposed to that as normal, rather than demonizing and starting to put this idea in your head that like, if you're exposed to it, you're automatically going to become it. It's like, that's not how that works.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I do believe that I'm a part of nature, and I do believe that there is this litróf, a color spectrum. I'm one of the colors. Then there are people out there who simply see life only black and white, and as a square. A black and white square. There's nothing wrong about it or right about it. I'm not trying to look for that. But these same people have difficulties with seeing the rest of the colors in the spectrum.
And sometimes don't want those other colors to exist because they don't feel comfortable. Like, that's a different story, right? It's like you're trying to dictate other people's lives.
It is a different story.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, I am one of the colors. And not only that, now we are seeing layers and layers. You know, there's a deeper, you can go deeper into the color spectrum. I think trans people are here to remind us that there's not only the color spectrum that we see, there are also glossy colors.
Yeah.
There are pastel colors. There are what happens if you mix yellow and red. You get this beautiful orange, you know.
Yeah.
And this is
queer in general, right? Too. There's a lot of different identities.
And this is in nature. You know.
Okay.
This is nature.
Yes.
I think the black and white perspective is a man-made perspective. You know.
Yeah. But I do want to talk about your Eurovision experience of 1997.
Oh, yeah.
Min Hinste Dans.
Yeah.
Right? So the lyrics, I was looking up the lyrics to that because I was like, was it also the lyrics? It was like, no, the performance. People were like, so, okay, when you decided to do this performance, because you were, and that's what I meant by internationally, people do know you because this has stuck with people. There's a big controversy that happened in terms of, it was a little bit more sexual than maybe people were used to. What made you come up with this particular more bold performance, and what was going through your mind that night when you kind of got wind that like, oh, people have thoughts and feelings about this?
Sure. The story behind it is that in 1996, Eurovision was in a strange place, a bad place, if you ask me.
Okay.
It was like Eurovision as a contest was missing the boat. It was not, you know, in with the times. The music was kind of dated or tacky, and for example, there was hardly any electro or any dance music, no house music, nothing that you heard on the radio.
Right.
You know, it just didn't get. It was like it was trying to knock on the doors of Eurovision, but it didn't get in.
Yeah.
And so when RÚV simply asked me to take part in it, because RÚV at the time didn't have any budget to do a pre-selection.
Okay. So it's just like,
again,
you just do it.
They picked up the phone, they called me and asked me to do it.
That's funny.
And I said, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But you'll have to allow me to do exactly what I want to do and no questions.
Take off the guardrails.
Yeah. And they said, okay, yeah, they said, yeah. Or I knew for a fact that Eurovision was a big gay cultural enigma. But hardly any gays were in the audience at the time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you know, they were. Most of the people who were there were really prim and proper.
It's like going out to a night at the orchestra or something. Yeah, it's like very different. Yeah.
And so, okay, Eurovision was just missing the boat, and someone had to do something. You know,
and you're like, I'm that someone.
Something had.
We're gonna shake it up.
Yeah.
All right.
And I show up with a techno, a very European techno tune. Me and my friend Trausti Haraldsson, we wrote this, but the demo was in fact almost like a hymn, a church, a religious hymn, a beautiful hymn.
Yeah, it is a beautiful song.
And that was the demo that Trausti gave to me. And I said, this is interesting. What happens if we put a techno beat to this? You know, and so again, two worlds, you know, merge with each other, which I'm fiercely interested in. And then I said, okay, this has to be as decadent and gay as possible.
It's going from like hardly any gay to all the gay that you can.
And I learned only later that I'm the first openly gay contestant in Eurovision history. but I'm not the first.
Right. Exactly. No, but just
all of them
out there with it.
All of them were closeted.
Wow.
Before me.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
That's incredible. I'm proud that you have been so boldly yourself. That is incredible, right? Because it's changed the face of so many things. And even if it, riled some people, they obviously needed to be riled a little bit, right? And it started to create this space now for more people to come out and be like, just do something fun, right? Like don't overthink it so much.
Oh.
Awesome. Okay.
That was super important.
Yeah. So as you have progressed in your career, obviously you're seeing younger LGBTQ plus people coming up, artists, whatever else. And what does it mean to you? I mean, you're collaborating with many of them or some of them who are not maybe in that community, but they're allies.
I just collaborated with a friend of mine named Torvi. There's a new queen in town.
New queen in town. The crown has been passed.
Torvi is a queer artist. I feel like he's going to be the Icelandic Kate Bush because he's writing songs, he's writing lyrics, he's arranging this, he is recording this and mixing this, singing this, and then he dances. He was a member of the Icelandic Dance Company.
Oh, also like a professional. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing artist.
Talk about multi-talented.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or I must confess that I've had a lot of different reactions to me and my music through the years. And some of it has been, yes, I've had the aggression and I've had the rejection and I've had all the negative comments, I've had it all. Now I am experiencing this love. I'm getting a lot of love from artists who are 30 years younger than me. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And Torvi is one of them. Daniel is one of them.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that they're calling up this old queen to write a song with them.
Yeah.
In the studio. And it's always a joyful experience.
Yeah.
Always.
I think that also, you say you call yourself an old queen, but I think that goes to show how much respect and how much you've done as you've come up for other people to feel really good and to be artists and to pursue it full time, that they want to pay respect and also like be with your vibe, right? Like that's how much great energy you're giving off. You're like, oh, they're younger than me, but like at heart, you're along those same lines, right? And so that just is a testament to you and like how you've kept present with yourself and allowed yourself to grow and be open to really cool opportunities. So thank you for doing that because it's meant more art for all of us to enjoy from you.
Yeah. And there's more to come.
More to come. Look at that. See, I told you.
I'm not done.
Not even slightly slowing down.
I had this dream of being an 83-year-old queen, still on that float.
It's like roll me around.
Still doing shows, Mae West style. And I love the thought of it. And I do think I have the energy for it,
Yeah, as long as you feel good.
And then life happens and it gives you inspiration to sit down and write,
Yeah. So
and then pay it forward and constantly,
there you go.
Be grateful, constantly, say grace and constantly thank my diva Donna Summer.
Yes. All hail Donna Summer.
Yeah, all hail her. No, because the excitement in her music is still there.
Yeah.
Play her tracks.
1,000%. I have all my playlists. I have Donna Summer. I have so many different artists, but disco to me, I wasn't born in that era, but I feel it. You feel it in your soul. It is so good. Yeah.
And that's probably the magic of music. Working in a studio, you can actually, if you capture this energy, if you're able in the first place to capture this demon, that is music, you can actually put it on tape. Yeah. It's going to stay there forever.
Yeah. Legacy.
Yeah.
So what advice or words do you have for emerging artists and activists who are coming up, whether it's in Iceland or around the world? Because as you mentioned, you have some friends who are doing their own artist work, but it's usually like on the side, after work, people who really want to embody this full time. What do you have for them?
I can tell you one thing. I've had quite a few young kids coming up to me, asking me always the same question: How do you get ahead in music business? And that's their question. And I sense behind that question is, how do you get famous? Like that's their driving force. And I usually say, it's not about getting famous.
Right.
If you get famous, then okay, good for you. But fame is also something you have to be ready for, and it takes a strong personality to take that on. Because that's a journey that's not for everybody.
No.
You have to have nerves of steel to go through that. I say music first. The music has to come first. And my advice that I can give to them is listen to everything. Listen to country music and classical music and R&B and rap and rock and roll.
Grindcore.
Yeah. Listen to electro.
Yeah.
Watch Eurovision.
Right.
Enjoy, bubblegum pop. Listen to everything. If you then decide to do rap, when you start working in the studio, when you start collaborating with someone, I can promise you one thing. You are going to cherry pick something that someone else has done from here and there into your own work. And if you do that, you better know where that comes from.
Agreed. Pay homage.
Because if you don't, if you just do it, if you do rap, without at least raising your hat.
Yeah, acknowledging
to the ones who became before you, you're both hypocrite and rude.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. It is so important.
Yeah. And your music will become absolutely flat.
Yeah.
And it's going to miss the energy.
Yes. 1,000%. People can tell the authenticity versus the trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I advise everyone, listen to everything, know where it comes from, study where it comes from and why, and then maybe, just maybe, you can actually use it as a color, use it as a pencil or a brush when you're painting your own work of art.
Yes.
Yeah. But you have this box of colors within you. And when you start working, when you do songs and when you start performing, you realize that you have this spectrum of colors that you can choose from. And in time, you will learn how to choose these colors and choose the pencils and choose the brush. Where should I go now?
Right.
Yeah. That will happen in time. No one emerges fully grown. No performer goes on stage and kara.
Right.
No, I have developed through the years, and I still am. I'm still learning the tiny little details.
Yeah.
Which
I think gives people a lot of encouragement that you don't have to have it all right. Because that's what holds a lot of people back is they want to be perfect. And that day never comes, so they never do it.
And now, being 55-year-old, I feel like I've never been better.
Yes.
I feel
yes.
I really feel like the stuff I'm writing now, is the best I've ever done. I can still capture the energy you know, and talk to that demon,
Yeah.
you know, and negotiate with him. And then kara, you know, a track like Góður dagur comes along.
Yeah. Amen. All right, I have one last question.
Yeah.
And it's one I ask all my guests, actually.
Yeah.
So it's my ending one, which is, what is your favorite Icelandic word or phrase?
The most beautiful word I hear is bláberjalyng.
Bláberjalyng.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blueberries, you know, they grow in bláberjalyng. they grow within the moss. Bláberjalyng is a beautiful word.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful. And it's also
Yeah. You're like, let me go pick one of those. That's wonderful. Yeah.
And a phrase. I hate the phrase þetta reddast.
Oh, I've never heard an Icelander say that. So this is interesting.
No, I'm not that kind of person.
You're not that guy.
No. Nay.
Okay.
You know, when I enter a venue, you know, things have to be clear.
You're like, we're not leaving up the chance here, people.
Nej.
Yeah.
Och every tiny little detail of everything has to be perfect. Okay. Because when everything, when the sound check is good and I've got the best light technician in the house, and when everything's okay, that's the moment when I can reach the state of not giving a shit.
Yeah.
And I actually let loose.
And let you relax.
I
Yeah.
let go. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love being there. And that's the first thing that the audience picks up.
That is true.
They pick up, he loves being there.
Yeah. And this is why you've sustained such a long career.
Yeah.
Because people do get that. And they know that you're there for them. Right?
Exactly.
That's great. This has been an incredible pleasure. Thank you so much, Páll, for coming, for sharing, and for helping us to just get a little bit deeper insight into the multi-layered, multifaceted, and talented you.
Algjörlega. Takk fyrir mig.
So, Takk.
Gekkja.